What is your favorite day? Do you ever enjoy looking at all of those national holidays that nobody knows anything about? Do you have your favorite? Do you have it on the calendar? Do you pick? We're all so different. There's different things that intrigue each one of us, different ways how we process life. We're going to talk more about that. Life can be quite the bending road. Sometimes it's nice and gentle, and sometimes it's a bit scary. The truth is that we will all experience a difficult bend in our road at some point. But it's also true that God will see us through. Let's travel this bending road together and help each other in our journey. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to catch other videos along the way. Well, welcome back to the Bending Road. Glad you could join me today. And we are preparing this week to go off to annual conference. And when you see this, we will be at annual conference. And I'm really looking forward to a different atmosphere than the last time we were at annual conference. And getting to know some new folks. We're in a brand new area, so that'll be interesting. And just really excited about this part of this new adventure. We're all different, right? And different things intrigue different ones, and we process things different. We see things different. And I think that's okay. That makes us unique. It makes life interesting. And if you watched last week's message, hopefully our differences don't mean that we are arguing about them, that we're fighting over them. We shouldn't fight over them. We should just kind of, we celebrate certain things. We enjoy hearing different perspectives and so forth. I was looking at today on the national holiday calendar, and this is kind of interesting. Today, June 20th, summer begins. Yay! Yeah, I'm loving that. I like the warmer temperatures. I love the seasons changing. You will hear me say in the spring, I love the spring. And in the fall, I love the fall. And in the winter, I actually love the snowfall and the cooler temperatures and so forth. But you will also hear me say, I'm tired of the winter and this needs to go away. So we all have differences. And so I don't know what your favorite holiday is, but summer is beginning today. And with that brings National Ice Cream Soda Day. That's pretty good. If you've never done it, use root beer and chocolate ice cream. It's like a Tootsie Pop, and it is absolutely wonderful. Today is National Bald Eagle Day, and that's good to know. I love to see the eagles, and I love to see that we have so many more than we used to. Today is Take a Road Trip Day. I think that's pretty appropriate. Now, I see it's also Take Your Dog to Work Day. Not sure about that, but Take Your Dog to Work Day. My dog is always at work with me because here I am, and she's under my desk. June is an interesting month, and I know that all of the months have a variety of holidays that we don't pay much attention to, but June has a lot of them. Of course, it's Flag Day. This month has Flag Day in it, and it's National Flag Week. I didn't know there was such a thing. It was the birthday of the Army. I'm not a parade person. Some people really enjoy parades. That's not me, but I saw a glimpse of it on TV and thought, yeah, that's a parade. That's cool. And moved on. Have no problem with it. Just didn't pay much attention to it. Birthday of the Army. That's kind of cool. If you missed it, I am very sorry, but I think we should get a reprieve on some of these holidays, and I think you should be able to celebrate them after the fact. So June 16th was Cannoli Day, if you missed Cannoli Day. But June 17th was Eat Your Veggie Day. See, there's something for everybody. June 15th, of course, was Father's Day, and we celebrated our fathers, but it's also National Prune Day. Why that's maybe, it just hits the same day as Father's Day. I don't know how that works. And I don't know if the two have anything in common in your household. But there you go, Father's Day and National Prune Day. Tomorrow, this is exciting now. I think we should all plan a celebration around this because tomorrow is Hollerin' not hollering. This isn't New York. Hollerin' Contest Day. So however you holler, I don't even know how to say it. However you do that, I think we should go out and do that tomorrow. National Hollerin' Contest Day. June 23rd is Let It Go Day. Don't know what Let It Go Day is. Is that the day you clean out your house? Is that the day you have that should be National Rummage Sale Day or Garage Sale Day, Let It Go Day. And then June 30th, I found this fascinating. June 30th is Social Media Day, as if we need one, right? We're doing this all the time. So I don't know if you need Social Media Day, but if you do, June 30th, that's your day. I find these interesting because we are all unique individuals, and there's something on that great list that somebody's going to go, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I love that. And somebody thought it was important enough to put it on the list. Some of these things, I don't know who that was. I wonder if that took a vote of Congress. I wonder better how Congress managed to pull this off when we can't even get a budget, but you can vote on National Cannoli Day. And maybe we had to have a National Cannoli Day because we have a National Donut Day. And if you have a donut day and a cannoli day, then you have to have a fresh veggie day because, everything's got to be balanced. I don't know how they did this. I don't know how they sorted this out. But anyway, so all of this, if you can imagine, got me thinking about something else. So we do when we go to a CFO camp, a Camps Farthest Out event, we do creatives, and this is a time to get quiet, hear God, hear what God is saying to you, and express that in maybe art or writing. Maybe you're using pastels, or you're using charcoal, or you're writing poetry, or maybe a letter. Maybe you're actually writing a letter to God, which is something we do. One of the things that I've always enjoyed was creative conversation. Can you imagine? Was anybody surprised that I like an opportunity to be creative about talking? Yep, that's me. And I've led creative conversations several times. But one of the things that I like to do is ask questions to get us thinking. And I did not make this up. This came from a teacher I had. Her name is Barbara Bruce. Some of you might know her. I met Barbara, I think I met her several times at conference, at other events and things. But I really got to know her when I went to local pastor's licensing school. And she taught a whole series on self-care. And she would ask these questions. I then met her at other times in course of study. She taught several course of study courses on things like personal care and devotional life, creative devotional life. But she always liked to ask these random questions. And she asked questions like, is your faith more like a rock or a pillow? Now, there's no wrong answer to this. And we would all look at this differently. Maybe your faith is something that you rest quietly on, and it's soft and it's comforting. Or maybe yours is the rock that keeps you grounded and something solid to put your feet on. The Psalms lead us in both of those directions at various places. Is your faith more like a sunrise or a sunset? Is it the start of all things new, and does it brighten your life, or is it quiet and peaceful and it brings you down and quiets you down? No wrong answer. Is your faith more like lemonade, bright and tart, or is it more like coffee? Is it deep and dark? Is your faith more like an oak, solid and withstanding time and all that? Or is it more like a willow that it bends and flexes in times of storm, and it withstands those storms because of its movement? Is your faith more like a creek or an ocean? Is it more like a living room or a kitchen? Is it more like a tuxedo or a pair of pajamas? Is it more like a songbook or a hymn book, or more like a dictionary? What really got me thinking about this morning is when we were on for prayer time this morning, one of the folks who joins us live for that prayer time asked the question, is it more like a rowboat or a motorboat? And from her perspective, this was something that she heard in a message, and for her from her perspective, she quoted I think it was Max Lucado. I hope I have that right. And it was like the rowboat is under your own power. You try to do this all on your own, which is not a positive thing. And the motorboat uses that fuel, like the Holy Spirit is the fuel, and it can just keep going and going and going. That's an interesting way to look at that. But the other way to look at that, the way my brain went, my brain started it like there's no wrong answer, like these questions I just asked you. And the rowboat, it's slow and steady. It's just slow and steady. There's no hurry. You just keep going. You just keep going. And the motorboat is you go hard and fast, but you'll probably run out of gas after a while. I'll look at it either way. The motorboat probably has more comfortable seats than the rowboat does. The rowboat gives you a little pain in your backside after a while. I like to think about these questions, and I would love for you to spend some time and think about these questions. Let me know, how is your faith? What is it more like? Can you come up with another one? I would love for you to add a new one to my list so that the next time I do this, I have more choices, more questions to ask. Maybe is your faith, let's go with prayer life. Is your prayer life more like a cat or a dog? Now, I am not a cat person. I think a cat is demanding, and a dog just sits there and looks at you like, please, But maybe I'm sure that if you are a cat person and not a dog person, you have a different view on that. So couple of things, 2 things I think I want us to take away from this. One is understanding that everybody's different. Do we listen carefully enough? Do we pay attention carefully enough so that when somebody says something, we understand they may be coming at this from a totally different perspective than you are? Something I have to work on. Somebody says something, pops into my head, I think I know what we're talking about. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we need to ask more questions. Ask the question, well, how do you get to that point? Or can you help me understand that a little bit better? Or can you give me more to go on? Explain that a little bit better for me. Just to make sure that we're understanding each other better. So the other piece is, first is to make sure we understand each other. The second is to spend some time with these questions. Is your faith more like a rock or a pillow? If you just say a pillow, fine. Can you explain that? Can you kind of diagnose your own faith and interpret your own faith? Or maybe you're applying all of this. You can apply it all to your prayer life. Or you can apply all this to your life in the church, your discipleship. How can you diagnose these things. That's not quite the word I want, but interpret them so that maybe there is some positive you can build on and some negative that you can work on. We don't want to get stagnant in our prayer life, in our faith. We don't want to get stagnant in our discipleship, in our church life. How can we work on those things to improve on those things, to do better, to help encourage somebody else? And when we encourage somebody else, if we ask them a question like this and they say a rock and we're definitely pillow people, or they say coffee and we are definitely lemonade people, I would be the reverse, or the cat and dog issue, how can we ask questions to better understand? I think it's so important in this day and age when we need mentors. We need teachers. I've recently read the scripture again about women. The older women should teach the younger women, and the older men should teach the younger men. We can't do that if we can't listen. And these are great questions, great conversation starters to understand each other. But we've got to listen. We've got to listen, and we've got to ask clarifying questions. So good questions for us to understand ourselves, good questions to help us understand others. And I just hope you're smiling today. I hope you were encouraged today. Nothing heavy today, except maybe the cat and dog. Oh, and the lemonade coffee issues. Those could be kind of heavy. They could be pretty divisive if we're not careful. So be careful with these questions. I hope you have a great day. I hope the sun, S-O-N, is shining down on you and just filling your heart with grace and peace. I look forward to seeing you next week along the Bending Road. It was great to have you join me today along this Bending Road. You can connect with me on social media or on my website at bendingroad.weebly.com. I would love to pray for you as you navigate the bends in your road. Remember, when you see the bend in your road, do not be afraid. Take the hand of God and keep walking. You are not alone.